Greetings movie fans and welcome to SMG Movie Talk. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different than most of the videos I've released so far. Instead of reviewing a movie and discussing it in detail, I actually want to talk about some news or more or less rumors that has recently come out in the movie world about a particular movie that may or may not be in the works. So, back in 1993, a very special movie to me was released, and that was Cool Runnings. And for those of you who have not seen Cool Runnings, well, go see it. It's on Disney Plus. I'm sure you'll love it. But if you have not seen it, it's a story of a Jamaican bobsled team. Now they say it's a true story, but it's very loosely based on a true story. It's just the general idea of a Jamaican bobsled team is what was true, but that's not really important. The movie is hilarious and it's got a lot of heart. It's a movie that as a child I watched over and over and over again. And I know my mom loved the movie, so we would watch it together probably every other month or so, maybe even more than that. And to this day, I watch it at least once a year, if not more. That movie just has a special place in my heart that not a lot of movies do. And Cool Runnings, if I had to put it in my top 10, 20, 30 movies or whatever, maybe it may be in that top 10 for sure, in like the top 25, but I just adore that movie. There's a lot of quotes in that movie I still quote to this day, like the "you dead man" quote line, or when Junior's getting pumped up and he says, "I see pride, I see power, I see a badass mother who won't take no crap out of nobody." I don't know why. I just love that line. I just love this movie. It's just truly a special movie. And of course it stars John Candy. And John Candy as a child, he was just everything you wanted out of a comedian. He just had a lot of great movies back in the late 80s and early 90s. And his death was probably one of the first celebrity deaths that really kind of hit me, because a lot of celebrities before that may have passed away I didn't feel like I had a connection to, but John Candy starred in all of my favorite movies. So when he passed away, it really hurt. And now years later still, I even sometimes think about movies that are released and I think, oh man, John Candy would have been great for that role. But unfortunately, he's no longer with us, and but he certainly left a mark in the entertainment industry that stands now 30 years plus after his death, still stands to this day. Anyways, the news that recently was released is that Disney is releasing, or they're in the works on a Cool Runnings 2. Now, I try to kind of source where this rumor was coming from, because the first few posts I saw about it didn't seem to be from a very reputable source. However, as I continue to source it a little bit and try to figure out the roots of it, I did see an article from Yahoo Entertainment, which not exactly the most reliable source, but it's going to be more reliable than some completely random Facebook post that has no real identity associated with it. So Yahoo Entertainment talked about it, and they actually said that Daniel Rickman is reporting on this, that his insider sources have told him that this movie's in the works. Now, Daniel Rickman is a pretty well-known kind of Hollywood insider that seems to have a lot of scoops of different movies that are in the works and all that, and seems to have a pretty good track record of being accurate. So his knowledge about this movie, while I still take it with a grain of salt, maybe that grain of salt's a little more like a little clump of salt, because he at least sometimes knows what he's talking about. Anyways, the rumor is that there's a Cool Runnings 2 in the works by Disney, and that they're doing a gender-swapped sequel with an all-female bobsled team. So what are my thoughts on this? I am just so sick of Hollywood, and Disney seems to be a big proponent of this, just releasing sequels that don't need to be made. We do not need a sequel to Cool Runnings. Forget the fact that they're gender swapping. That's not really important to this. We don't need a sequel to Cool Runnings. That movie is a masterpiece in my eyes. Like, that movie is hilarious still to this day. There's nothing you can do to now tell more of this story, to add on to it, or anything like that to make it make it a more enhanced story or make it improved upon or add to it. There's nothing you can do to make it better. All you're going to do is release a crappy sequel that no one's going to want to watch. Stop with these sequels. If there's a good narrative story to tell, then sure, release a sequel. There's a lot of great sequels out there, and that's very important to the movie industry to release sequels when there is a story to be told. But it seems so many times Hollywood is just bent on having the idea of a sequel and then trying to shoehorn a story into there. That's not the way it should be. It should be, whoa, I've got this great story. Let's make it into a sequel. But that's Disney and Hollywood and all that. They're just about making money and seeing how they can make another buck. But this would not make money. This would probably be a straight to Disney Plus sequel that no one's going to watch. Why are we doing this? How many Disney Plus like sequels or spin-offs have they done lately that have been terrible? When they did that Mighty Ducks Game Changers show, and the first season was okay, the second season was crap, and then they ousted it off Disney Plus where you can't even watch it anymore. And then Willow, I was kind of digging that show for the most part, then it kind of fell apart a little bit, and then, oh, no one wanted to watch it, oust off Disney Plus. Why are we doing this? Make movies people want to see. No one is clamoring to see a sequel to Cool Runnings because there's no more of a story to be told. But now they want to gender swap it and all that. Why? Why do you need to do that? Make a new movie, tell a new story. That'd be fine. You don't have to just leech on to an existing property in order to make a buck. There's nothing about Cool Runnings that needs a sequel. Now, if they made one in 95, or maybe, I guess, would have been like 97 or something like that to talk about, 4 years later, they went back to the Olympics. What happened now? Okay, that could have been cool. But we're 30 years too late for that. We don't need a sequel now that there's no more story to be told. It's just preposterous that Hollywood just constantly feels like they have to make these stupid sequels. We saw what happened to Happy Gilmore 2. Now, I know a lot of people liked Happy Gilmore 2. That's fine. Great. I want you to like movies that come out. Again, I hated it with an absolute passion. And all these other comedy sequels, Dumb and Dumber 2, Zoolander 2, they're almost always bad. Coming to America 2, they're always bad. You can never capture the that feeling or the vibes of that first movie, especially so many years later. It's never going to be as good as the first one. If you would strike when the iron's hot and release that sequel a year or 2, 3 years after, sure, you can probably make it work. You can release a good sequel. But 30 years later, we're 32 years after the last Cool Runnings movie. Why are we even thinking about making a sequel? Oh my goodness. What purpose would a sequel serve? None. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So I hope this story is fake and this movie never gets released, because all it's going to do is tarnish the name of the first movie, of the original Cool Runnings, which again, in my mind, is a masterpiece. So Hollywood, stop with your dang sequels. Stop trying to leech onto an existing IP just to release something else and make more money and all that and line your pockets or whatever it may be. If you have a good story to tell, then tell a good story, but stop with these dang sequels. Don't do it. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm ranting. I'm just mad at the idea of a Cool Runnings 2. If you all maybe think Cool Runnings 2, there'd be some promise there, or maybe there'd be a story that could be told that would be interesting, why don't you jump in the comments below and tell me why I'm wrong. Give me some hope for a Cool Runnings sequel, because as it stands right now, I've got absolutely no hope that Cool Runnings 2 would be even remotely entertaining, let alone worth making in any capacity. So please, if you think Cool Runnings 2 would be great, please tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me why I'm wrong. Comment below. And hey, if you're on the same page as me and think it's a terrible idea, comment that as well. Let's have some dialogue, let's have some discussion, and talk about the idea of Cool Runnings 2. Anyways, thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate your involvement in my channel, and we'll see you next time. And until next time, be kind to one another. Thank you.